Welcome everyone. Welcome to the IoD Virtual Members Evening. People are just joining us, so we're just going to give everyone a few moments as they join the session tonight. And we're just checking that everyone's on mute as you join. So feel free to use the chat actually. Feel free to use the chat to introduce yourselves to all of us. Say hello, where are you from in the country? Where are you dialing in from and how hot is it where you are right now? I think we're all looking outside at the glorious sunshine. Anybody else thinking that? Thinking this is a great way to spend a Wednesday evening? Hi Elizabeth, welcome. So we have Aberdeen, we have Jim from Dubai, sunny Chester, it's always sunny in Chester. London, Aldershot, I can see Hertfordshire, Bury, Bolton. Oh, it's great to see lots of Northwest members. I'm based in Manchester, so I can confirm it's very sunny here. East coast of England, it's nice and sunny. Lincoln, Switzerland, warm and sunny. Great to hear that. And Stoke, centre of the world. Yeah, Andrew? We've got Croydon, Essex, Sussex, Surrey. Oh yes, lots of name checks there. Okay, so welcome everyone. We've got quite a few people here now. As other people join us, we'll just let them join the session. And we've got quite a lot to get through today, so we're going to get started. And I'm going to give you an outline actually of our timing. So my name is Claire Marie Boggiano, and I'm an IoD member, just like everyone else here. And I'm also involved in the Northwest Committee, particularly around diversity and inclusion. That's the area close to my heart. I have my own business, specialised in change management, and I also am a lecturer in leadership at the University of Salford. And I've been a member of the IoD for quite a while, so long I actually can't remember how long. It might be 15 or 16 years or maybe more, but we'll say quite a long time. So it would be great to know more about who else is on the call here. We've had a bit of a feeling for where people are around the country and around the globe, and as well as the temperature check. It sounds nice in France there and the hot southeast. So we're going to run some polls in a moment. And in fact, we'll put the first one up now. We'll put the first poll up now. So it'll be if everyone could have a look at this first poll and choose which region are you from. And these are IoD regions. So they make some quite interesting combinations that are that can be quite entertaining. So hopefully everyone can see that poll. And if you'd like to choose what region you're from. And I'll give you a minute or two to do that. And while you're completing that poll, our timings for today, so we're running from now until 6:30. And we're sort of in two parts. So the first part, we've got some speakers to share with you particular components of the benefits of the IoD, and they're going to go through their section and give us more details so that you as members can understand the value that there is in being a member of the IoD. And then after that, we're going to have a panel of branch chairs sharing with us some of their thoughts on being a member of the IoD and some of the things that they're doing in their particular regions. So I'll give you 3 more seconds to complete that poll, and then let's close it and have a look at the distribution. So here you can see the poll results. And we can see we have strong representation from London, 34%, and 20% in the south. And we have, where else? The northwest is a good strong 10% there if you've completed that. And we've got representation everywhere: Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales, the northeast, Yorkshire, east of Midlands, West Midlands, and also internationally. And internationally includes everywhere else. So we've got the Isle of Man in there and the Channel Islands. So welcome everyone. It's great to see everywhere is represented. We do have another poll actually that we're going to share with you. So this meeting is open to everyone, new members, renewing members. I don't know if older is the right word to use, but longer term members. So if we can share the next poll, please, that would be really good. So tell us, how long have you been a member? Have you just joined? Have you been here under a year, or over 2 years, or 5 years, or 10 years? That would be really good. And anyone over a year can choose that over 2 years one, I think. There might be a gap in there. So less than a year, more than a year, that would be great. And again, we'll just give you some time to fill that in. I always think it's really interesting. And for those of you that are really chatty, for those, let's see if we have another competition on the side of the longest member involved here. You can put in the big numbers, see if they hit the same Fahrenheit or Celsius that we've been sharing about the temperature. Okay, so 2 more seconds and we'll close that poll and then publish the results. Great. So a huge welcome to the 59% of you that have been members for under a year. You're very, very welcome to the IoD. And then you can see there are some of you have been here for over 10 years, over 5 years, and over 2 years. It's quite a lot. So it's a really good distribution actually. And I think there's always benefits to you know, having new members, bringing new energy and ideas into the organization, and also having members that have been around a lot longer to remember what has been tried and tested or not tested, and how far we've come and how far there is to go. So welcome to everyone. Okay, so let's get started. Can we have the next slide, please? And here you can see there's a wide range of benefits with your full ID. Now, can I check who's doing this slide? I thought there was an introduction, or is this one that you want that is just for general sharing? So they're the benefits of the IoD. And here we have some information about our speakers this evening. So shortly we're going to be hear from Natalie, and then Darren, Emma, Hugo, and Amber are going to share some specifics about their particular areas of interest in the IoD. So the other thing I want to mention before we hand over to Natalie is you will see there is a chat function that we're using, and there should also be a Q&A function. I would really ask you to put your questions for the speakers in the Q&A rather than the chat. Feel free to use the chat, make comments. It's great to see that, and give us feedback. But specific questions, please put them in the Q&A section, because we have somebody monitoring that who will make sure that those questions are asked. And I think you can also see all the other questions that are coming up, and maybe even effectively vote for them to make sure the most popular one is asked. So please do that. Other housekeeping, we will do a Q&A session at the end of the panel later on this evening. And you'll be able to come on screen and ask your particular questions if you'd like to do that then as well. It's a bit more interactive. So then I think we are ready to get started, unless I'm talking to the backup team here, unless there's anything else I need to mention at this stage. Doesn't sound like it. So thanks, Leslie. So I am now going to welcome Natalie to the Zoom stage, if there is such a thing. And Natalie, you're going to give us a big introduction and set the scene for us this evening. So I'm going to hand over to you and take it from there.
Great, thank you, Claire Marie, and yeah, welcome to everybody. I'm interested to see how Scotland, Yorkshire and the North East are clearly basking in the sunshine, knowing that it's probably the last bit of sunshine we're going to see for the next 8 months. So, but also a big welcome to our new members and those who've been with us that little bit longer. I think one of the most interesting facts in this institute is that we are almost like a secret society. We have so many benefits, and you come along and you join, which really is a super brand. But unless you take the time to just put a little bit in to see what you get out, you might not ever know that. So it's really great to see so many new members here with us this evening. And equally, some of our longer standing members who I'm sure are here to see what's changed and how are we changing. So I think it's fair to say that the Institute is going through a transformational era. We have had to spend a lot of time looking at how we can become relevant, how we can attract members who have that director's mindset, how we can create a fellowship, and how we can really look to build a better world. So that's kind of something you'll see throughout your membership with us, is this directive of better directors building a better world. Now, there's some words, but let me guarantee and reassure you that there has been years into building us to where we are today. We've seen for a number of years that we have had a very centralized approach to the Institute. And what we've recognized now, probably for the past 7 years, that we need to get with the movement of the world, which is about devolution and empowering our local branch community. And that is really what we've spent the last 2 years focusing on. So I'll just give you a bit of an insight. You're going to hear from them later, which is our chairs and ambassadors. So within your locality, you will have a local branch, which is comprised of a chair, a vice chair in most instances, and a team of ambassadors. So they are your go-to. They really do build the business community and are there for you in an empowered way. But equally, if you want to be part of that local branch community, then please reach out to some of the individuals you're going to hear later, or to your local branch manager. So it's something which we've done for many years, is having a branch community, but I think it's fair to say that over the passage of time and moving more centralised, we'd lost a little bit of that local feeling. So that's what you're going to see much more of. Now, equally, going live with what we term as the communities model on March the 16th, 2020, was not the perfect time to move forwards with the new era. However, we have kept with ensuring the resources there, building up those communities, and really ensuring that you can reach out locally and have that touch and feel of individuals, when we can touch and feel, who are there on the ground. In terms of our events as a member, you'll have access to many events. Many have been virtual, but we are now starting to see some physical or phygital, where we've got a mixture of physical and digital, the hybrid, coming forward, as well as our world-class director development. So you're going to hear shortly through a number of our benefits and the department leads for those benefits. And as Claire Marie mentioned just at the start, if you have any questions, please put them in the Q&A and we'll pick them up and respond separately. But I would like to say a huge thank you to every one of you for joining us, to also remember that, together we're stronger. So if there are any individuals who are like-minded in business within your local community that could become part of the Institute, then please do recommend them through your chair, your local chair and ambassador. And there are some incredible offers for you recommending, not for you personally, but also for the member coming in. So, so on that note, I am now going to hand over to our broader team who are going to take you through. I think I go back to Claire Marie, is that right? Yes. Just some of the benefits that you've got. But once again, thank you. And I hope you look forward to hearing from our chairs and ambassadors a little bit later too.
Great, thank you, Natalie. And you know, I think it's really important. You know, one of the first pieces of advice I got when I joined the IoD was, you know, the more you put into it, the more you get out of it. So, you know, you're right. Those people that really want to get more, to get involved in their local branches is a great thing to do. Okay, so let's move on then to our to our list of speakers. And the first one we have up is Darren. And Darren, you're going to speak to us about the information advisory services. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct. Hello and good evening, everybody. It's great to have this opportunity to speak to you. Yep, I'm Darren Lynch. I am the lead for the IoD Information and Advisory Service. What it is a team of 5 people whose sole purpose is to support you as members of the IoD. The IoD will afford you many opportunities to come together with fellow company directors through networking events, professional development courses, and so forth. What the IAS is about, it's all about you as an individual member and 2 needs which are constant in the mind of a business leader. And that is, there are things you are always wanting to know, and there are issues that you are wanting to talk about. And that, in a nutshell, is what the IAS does, clues in the title. Next slide, please. To help you gain knowledge of markets, other companies, other directors, to obtain all the legal documentation you need that your business is compliant and to conduct your business dealings, we have a 5-person research team, recently made more capable with a partnership with Grant Thornton, where we get to leverage some of their research departments. You can ask us, if you play your cards right, 25 times a year to research whatever are the information needs for your business or for you as a company director. Even if you have these resources in-house, I need to repeat that we are here to support you as an individual, not your company. If you have discrete information requests or you need to discreetly discuss something that's on your mind, you can just turn around and engage with the IAS. As well as the 5-person research team, we have a panel of 16 external business advisors. These are available for 4 one-to-one sessions each year. And they span law. I don't want to read out this list, but if we consider what one pays to spend an hour with a lawyer or an accountant or a marketing consultant or an HR consultant to get, for those of you seeking non-executive director roles, to have your CV reviewed, you can have 4 sessions one-to-one with such business professional each year. And you also have access to legal and tax helplines. An entitlement of 25 instances a year is remarkably consistent across our department because you can call them 25 times a year. They are very complementary to the 2 core services of the research team and the advisory panel, because you can ask them the legal helpline specific questions on the day, but for more developed conversations, you come to the experts on the advisory panel. You may also have been using the research team to feed information into that decision-making process. If we can have the next slide, please. Here we see some basic numbers on the performance of the IAS in last year. We completed just over 3,000 information requests from just under 1,400 members. The simple maths are that that's pretty much 2 to 1. Once a member is engaged with the IAS, they tend to become a regular user. And it's the same thing with the DAS, the Directors Advisory Service, in which 600 members asked us about just over 800 for 800 appointments. What all of these members are doing is, as well as leveraging a prime benefit of their membership, because we are a completely in-membership benefit. There is no additional cost involved. What they're doing is they're making certain that the IoD is relevant to their working life as a business leader and a company director, you know, through those rainy Wednesday mornings. You know, in between our excellent networking events and director development courses, you'll have your working life. And as I said at the beginning, you will always be saying, oh, I need to know more about this, or I need to talk through this decision or this issue. And that is what we're here for. If we can have the next slide, please. Whenever you submit a case to us, when we close it, we will trouble you for a feedback statement, which, if you're kind enough to provide, will join examples like this. These are some genuine feedback comments from members. One point which these do bear out is that when our capabilities chime with your needs, you'll get a very, very clear demonstration of the benefit of IoD membership. You know, that my old dad told me that there are 2 useful people in life, those who save you time and those who make you money. Generally, most of the time, we will be saving you your own time that you may otherwise commit to research. Sometimes we will save you a lot of money when the commercial databases that we have access to can provide privileged paid for information that you need. So yes, I had 5 minutes to do this, and I hope that was sufficient. In the in the chat, I shall just quickly pop in our contact details. You can email us businessinfo@iod.com or phone us on 0207 451 3100. I want to assure you, we are not premises dependent. We are based at the IoD HQ in London, but because we are so easily accessible on email or phone, or even in person on Thursdays at 116 at the moment, you know, from Penzance, Preston, Penrith, somewhere interesting in the far north of Scotland, beginning with P, it'll come to me. We are always there for IoD members wherever they are in the UK or indeed around the world. We do have a good number of international members as well.
Great,
okay.
Darren, thank you very much. Yeah, that's great. And I can see there's lots of comments. There's a few questions in the Q&A, which I know you'll probably respond to in that Q&A while we move on to the other speakers.
Will do.
And also we've had some great comments in the chat about what a fabulous service it is, highly recommended, and lots of people agreeing with that. And certainly I've heard good reports over the years. And I think it's one of those that you keep forgetting it's a benefit. So it's great to have this reminder that it's there. So thank you very much, Darren. Okay, so let's keep going then. Our next topic that we're going to be talking about is professional development. And Emma Hicks is going to tell us a bit more about that. So let me hand over to you now, Emma.
Thank you, Claire Marie, and good evening, everyone. So my name is Emma Hicks, and I'm Head of Professional Development at the IoD. I'm really delighted to be here today to present our develop offering to you, our valued members. If you could go to the next slide, Nicola, thank you. So As all of you know, we are the only chartered institute for directors, and so professional development and lifelong learning in the broadest sense is core to our purpose. As Natalie said earlier, our mission is to create better directors for a better world, and we are committed to creating a legacy which develops the directors of today and of the future. So we have a duty to champion professionalism, and as such, we are offering an ever-growing range of development options for our members, which are available via a blend of live virtual and face-to-face delivery, and also self-directed learning via our digital academy platform. Our professional development programs range from bite-sized interactive CPD workshops to role-specific courses and to our flagship globally recognized qualification Chartered Director. Our programs are attended by thousands across the world from all sectors, industries and locations. Next slide, please. So today we wanted to showcase a few of our develop options. So firstly, our professional director series, which is now, as of a few months ago, exclusive to full fellow and chartered members on a complimentary basis as part of your membership. And this is really in recognition of the value that we, but actually our members, place on their continuing professional development. The series has been developed in line with feedback from you, our members, and the director community, and also in line with the ever-changing socio-economic and political landscape, which is throwing up lots of opportunities, but also challenges for directors, boards, and their organisations. These are accessible, interactive virtual classroom sessions, all delivered by board practitioners who are skilled facilitators on topics ranging from leading from the chair, ESG and company purpose to strategic decision making. They offer a rewarding experience from a peer learning perspective, and this year alone we have extended the series to include topics on data analytics, strategy, data governance, cyber strategy, and coming soon in the next few weeks, sustainability. Next slide, please. Everything that we do is underpinned by our director competency framework and is built around three core dimensions. So knowledge, which is the director's understanding and appropriate application of essential practical information; skills, the expertise that a director brings to their role; and critically, mindset, so the attitude and disposition that shapes a director's responses and behaviours. The framework is available on IoD.com, but it's also available for all our members as an interactive self-assessment tool on our Academy platform. Next slide, please. Our globally recognised Chartered Director qualification is really the gold standard in good governance and leadership, and our Chartered Director community are role models who have demonstrated the highest commitment to lifelong learning and have been independently assessed at each stage of the journey. Directors who actually undertake Chartered Director do so to enhance their performance, their own performance, the performance of their board and their organisation, to advance their career and gain professional recognition, to demonstrate to stakeholders that they're upholding the highest professional standards in governance and leadership, and to also develop an unrivaled peer network and community of best practice at a local, national and global level. The programme is a three-stage process. At certificate level, we cover key areas of director excellence, governance, leadership, strategy and finance. The next step is the diploma, which supports the application of knowledge via an enriching 3-day board simulation. And the third and final step requires you to demonstrate that you have made a personal difference and delivered real impact within your board and organisation. You can choose to attend Chartered Director on a fully virtual, modular face-to-face, intensive residential, or on a blended basis. So if you'd like to find out more, then please do book on to a taster session. So our next one is actually running tomorrow morning. And I think Nicola or Leslie are going to post that in the chat if you'd like to book on. Next slide, please. Our digital academy platform is a core member benefit and provides access to hundreds of hours of bite-sized CPD content that you can do at your own pace. And we've got everything from podcasts to videos to quizzes to white papers. And all of the content is served up based on your responses to the self-assessment tool that I referred to earlier, which is built around our director competency framework. You can then choose, as part of your reflective practice and development, to formalise this within your personal CPD tracker. For members who are also doing IoD professional development programmes, you will also have access to digitised course content, exam support and practice papers. We're currently in the process of developing a new version of this platform to expand our on-demand CPD offer for members, which will launch later on this year. Next slide, please. And finally, all of our professional development programs can be delivered on an in-company basis to your board and or your senior leadership team. Some of our clients opt for this route in order to specifically tailor the content to their board, organisation and to their industry. It also enables our expert team of learning designers and facilitators to do a bit of a deeper dive on impact assessment for the whole board. Other popular options include our recently refreshed board evaluation service. And in fact, we have seen an increasing demand for independent board reviews during and as we move out of COVID. So many thanks for your time today. I know I have another slot coming up, but specifically on this section, if you do have any questions, please do post them in the Q&A. Reach out to your local branch, or you can contact me directly and I'll put my details in the chat in a moment. Thank you. Back to Claire Marie.
Cheers, Emma. Thank you very much. And as you said, you will be back with us.
I know. I'm very sorry. My colleague Ron is taking a holiday, so I'm stepping in for him. So apologies that you're going to hear from me again.
Yeah, very dare. Very dare.
Very dare.
Yeah. So we have had lots of comments and a few questions which you've already answered before we got to the end about whether or not you do in company.
We do, yes. Yes.
And also with a lot of positive references going in the chat box as well, saying how really, I think Kat, you mentioned both the chartered and the other one, and said that's given you real confidence and you've gone for some head roles. So that's
excellent. Well, I'll make sure when I stop talking, I will have a proper look through the chat if there's anything else that I need to address, and obviously the Q&A. So thank you so much, everyone, for the feedback.
And we also have, I forgot to mention that Jeremy is also backstage managing all the Q&As. So
yes,
there's other stuff. I know Jeremy will jump in there as well. Jeremy, feel free to sort of wave or say hello or put something in the chat box to introduce yourself. That would be great. Okay, so we're going to keep moving because I'm wasting time. And we're on to our next section to give Emma a bit of a break. And we are going to go over to Hugo, actually.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, are we going to go over to Hugo, or are we going straight to tomorrow's director? I'm seeing tomorrow's director up here.
Yeah, we're going straight over to tomorrow's director. Sorry,
okay,
Emma.
Hugo,
no worries.
so hold on a minute. We've been reformatted here. Right, Emma, away you go again. You're still on.
Okay, so I'm going to be talking in this section about our fabulous student membership offer and our new Tomorrow's Director programme, which is the development component, which is coming out very soon to support our student membership offer. So next slide, please. So our student members are the future of our institutes. They are the next generation of entrepreneurs and board directors. And in recognition of this, we work with universities and colleges all across the UK in partnership to develop their learners and connect them with our fabulous wider IoD membership community. So we currently have about 1,200 student members across 20 universities and colleges. And where numbers are sufficient, our branches and our regions have encouraged student members to join events or webinars. Some have provided mentoring and others have supported career and employability activities. So things like CV prep, interview techniques, social media profiles, etc. The challenge is that most students only remain members while universities pay, and therefore retention has proved difficult. Natalie mentioned the sort of transformation process that we've been going through, and when we reviewed the member value proposition, we recognised an opportunity to provide a pathway to retention, progression, community and continuing professional development with our students. And as such, we are now enhancing the student value proposition to include access to the Academy platform, a more formal, I say formal because it's informal, but some more structure around the mentoring process and to enable more of our members to get involved. And as I mentioned at the beginning, we're also launching a groundbreaking programme called Tomorrow's Director. So really the aim is, retention beyond 1 year, either through additional years as students, after graduation, and then hopefully progression to associate and beyond. Next slide, please. So launching later on this year, and I'm very proud to be a part of this project with a fabulous range of many people, including lots of our chartered directors. We are developing a brand new programme for students, and really it's to enable them to make their mark. They're going to need a strong grasp of how boards and businesses operate, and need access to a personal network that can expedite their career progression. And what Tomorrow's Director offers, it's a blend of online, live, virtual and face-to-face learning, and it covers critical business topics, including corporate governance, ESG, leadership, ethics and risk. Stage 1 is fully online via a series of e-learning modules on our new Academy platform, which is coming, followed by a 6-week entrepreneurial business challenge with support from IoD members, and a half-day board simulation, which will be facilitated by a chartered director. The final part is an insight session with a chartered director and a graduation ceremony, and this is all underpinned by access to reverse mentoring and further CPD. So we would really like to encourage our members to engage with students via their branch, to do all the things that we've sort of talked about. So, you know, supporting their development, their progression and their employability, so we can retain them as members. And it links fundamentally to our social purpose as well, to support the productivity of the economy, sustainable business practice and innovation. So thanks again for your time. Again, if you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A. And if you would like to get involved and to support our student members or the Tomorrow's Director programme, please contact your local branch team. Thank you very much, and back to Claire Marie.
That's great, Emma. Thank you. It's really exciting, actually. I mean, I know a lot of clients I work with, they're always looking at that pipeline of leadership, of leaders and developing their future talent. And this looks like it could dovetail with that really, really nicely across many different.
Excited. Thank you very much.
Very exciting. And as Emma said, for those members that find that interesting and may want to get involved, do make contact. Okay, so let's keep going then. Hugo, it is definitely your time now. We are going to hand over to you to hear a bit more about governance and the policy unit.
Thank you, Claire Marie. And I'd like to start off with 2 apologies. Firstly, on behalf of Dr. Roger Barker, who heads up the policy team, but who is out there practicing what we preach in terms of influencing government. And secondly, that I don't have any slides to show you, so you will have to look at my face instead. I'm sorry about that. So I'm Hugo Lee. I'm the Media and Communications lead at the IoD and part of the policy unit. In addition to me, the team is made up of policy experts across key areas and issues that matter to directors. So, for example, general business issues and the economy, skills and the future of work, diversity and inclusion, corporate governance, sustainability, and many other issues. So I want to start off by talking about the role of the policy team. We are very much at the heart of the influence arm of the IoD. We influence the policy agenda on behalf of directors and IoD members through, for example, our direct relationships and ongoing interactions with government at the highest level, through leveraging our position in the media, but also through things like consultation responses, select committee appearances, and white papers. But we also provide insight to our members to support and inform you. So this is not just a one-way track. Our relationships and expertise enable us to let you, the members, know about the issues and policies that might have an impact on your business. And I will come on to discuss in a minute how we communicate with you on that. What else do we do? Well, we also act as a platform and convener for debate and discussion on issues that matter to you and to directors more generally through, for example, our events and through the formation of advisory groups who help to inform our views on key issues. And finally, we promote public understanding of business leadership and corporate governance. I mean, I would say it's important to not just focus on the decision makers when we're looking to influence, but to ensure that we contextualize the debate within the wider public policy environment and ensure that our messages resonate at the highest levels. So, for example, a very topical and current example of our work or my work would be around this week's announcement. The government is looking to increase national insurance and the tax on dividends to pay for social care. I'm sure this is something you'll have picked up in the media. It's been a sort of key issue over the last few days. And hopefully, as part of that, you will have seen evidence of the work that we've been doing in the broadcast, print and online media in the last 24 hours or so. In particular, we're looking to call out the extraordinary timing involved in increasing the burden on business at a time like this, as well as the continued damage to the government that the government is doing to small company directors who are paying themselves through dividends and have received no support through the pandemic. So that's an example of our ongoing work, but ultimately with limited resources, the policy team and the IoD more generally is able to directly and inform and influence the policy, the agenda. For example, we've been able to secure revisions to the prompt payment code, resulting in better payment terms for SME suppliers. We've been able to help secure the SME Brexit support fund. We've helped to ensure that furlough was extended to the end of March and then on to September this year. And we've ensured that HMRC time to pay was expanded and that VAT and other tax liabilities were deferred. But I wanted to go on and talk about the second element, which is Policy Voice. For those of you that are not aware, Policy Voice is our monthly member survey on key topical business issues. It seeks IoD members' opinions, your opinions on the issues that matter to you, to directors, for example, on Brexit, on regulation, on skills, and on the economy. And importantly, this enables us to have a data-driven approach to our engagement with government and the media, which they very much welcome. It also, importantly, provides us with a wealth of anecdotal evidence from individual directors and firms that will enable us to provide color to that data-driven approach, but also enables us to find case studies that the media crave so often. And finally, it enables you to make your voice heard. It really is a highly influential tool, both with government and in the media. And with the next survey coming out in a few days, I really would urge you, if you have not already, to sign up to Policy Voice. This month, we have an exclusive with Channel 4 Dispatches, who are doing a program on Brexit, amongst other questions. That's not the sole set of questions, but that program will heavily feature our data. So yeah, I would just urge you to sign up to Policy Voice. It is really important to us to enable us to do our job, but it also ensures that the work that we do is ties in with the issues that really matter to you. And I think the link to to sign up to Policy Voice will be put in the comments shortly. But Policy Voice is not the only way that we engage with you. And I referenced earlier sort of the two-way flow of information that we provide. So we do that through our monthly influence newsletter. The next one comes out in the middle of next week. We do that through our various social media platforms, LinkedIn and Twitter, which I would encourage you also to sign up to if you have not already done so. And also, I would encourage you to get in touch with us directly if there are any particular issues that you want to raise with us. Policy Voice is great, but the key issues that matter to you might not necessarily be covered in Policy Voice. So you always can get directly in touch with us. You can do that by emailing us directly at policy-unit@iod.com. And again, that will be put in the chat bar. Or indeed, you can contact your local branch team or your local policy ambassadors. And so I really would encourage you to get involved in that way. Finally, and this isn't directly related to the policy team, but I wanted to draw your attention to the relatively new member benefit that we now offer at the IoD, which is New Role. New Role are board hiring specialists, and our relationship provides IoD members with simplified and fast-track access to this board-level recruitment platform. And I would encourage all members to have a look at this and to consider signing up if you are looking to secure your next board role. Well, thank you very much for listening to me, and I hope apologies again for my lack of slides. Do let me know if you have any questions in the normal way, and I will come back to you. Thank you, and back to you, Marie-Claire.
Thanks, Hugo. I always find it's refreshing to lose the slides, so I'm pretty glad that we got to see you for a while.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And again, I think, you know, it's it's so critical, the work that you do and the influence that you have. And I think that's one of the main benefits of being part of the IoD, is having that sort of extra channel to try and influence policy. So again, I would encourage members who have a natural interest in this to get involved and definitely register.
Yeah, there are of course additional ways you can get involved. I mentioned briefly policy ambassadors, so you can get involved at a local level, you know, if there's something that matters to you, and you can help inform us about the issues that matter on the ground. So please do get involved.
Great, thank you very much. Okay, so let's keep going. We're doing well here. We're getting through quite a lot. Slides are back up. Thank you very much. And I'm now going to invite Amber to the stage. Amber,
hello. Oh,
about the virtual office, is that right?
yes, good evening and welcome all. So I'm Amber and I run the virtual office department alongside my colleague Lily. So
and
basically
before you go any further,
can
you turn on your screen or your...
Yes, I can, yep. Bear with me.
We can hear you, but we can't see you.
Can't see me. Can you see me now? Hey, hello.
Not yet. Well, I can't. Can anyone else?
Oh.
Oh, well, we can hear you. Keep going. We'll see if we can...
I've put myself on screen. Can you see me, anyone? Am I there?
No, still no. Oh, we've got a lot of no's there, Amber.
I apologise. I'm trying to put myself on video. Oh, here we go. Let me one more. Choose. Sorry, bear with me.
One moment, caller.
Am I there?
You are not. But
am I there?
You are there. Good to see you.
Hello, guys.
Isn't it fun? Okay, over to you. Thank you.
Hello, guys. So good evening and welcome. So my name is Amber and I run the office department alongside my colleague Lily. So basically we are here to help those who are starting up new businesses, for startup companies, for those who work from home and don't want to provide their home address. So basically we offer two options. So the first option would be an address and mail forwarding option. And the second option would be a telephone answering option. So I'll quickly explain what the address and mail forwarding involves. It's £90 plus VAT a month. And that includes basically supplying a prestigious 118 pound mail address, which you can use as your company registered business website, company's house. And so you can use that as, you know, for your correspondence. And the second option would be for a telephone answering service. So that will entail, so we provide you with an 0207 number where you can use that number so we can answer your calls in your company name and forward on to your preferred mobile or landline. So it's the two options. So it's practically virtual. So if you're regularly in the IoD as well, we can offer this service where instead of sending your mail out, we can have where you can put your mail, we can hold it for you and you can collect it on a regular basis, or we can send out to you. So it's very virtual. So it's just the two options. So it's address, which you can use for your company's house or your telephone answering. And so it's practically virtual. So yes, so it's pretty simple, as you can see on the slides below. So I'm just going to try and get on the slides. Sorry, can you see on the slides? Are you still there?
See that clearly? Yes. Thank you.
Oh, you can see it. Yes. So you've got the virtual office package, which includes everything. So that will be address and telephone. I'm just trying to think where the other slide is, sorry. Yeah, and the address and mail forwarding, which is £90. So it's basically involved in a premium London address. So you can register and, oh, brilliant. Oh, sorry, I'm just looking at my screen's freezing. Apologies. Sorry, my internet's not very good today. Oh, hello, can you still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Amber.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Yes, so there's two options.
There is a question here in the chat about the prices. Are those monthly prices, Amber?
They are indeed. They are monthly subscription prices. So it's £90 plus VAT a month, or £75 plus VAT a month for the telephone, or you can combine together. We also offer a discount. So if you have multiple staff, so if you have several staff in the company, you can also add them to at a discount rate. So if, for example, you had, we offer you one telephone number to answer in your company name, we can then transfer to every individual. It'll just be an extra additional cost for that, but they can still use the company address on their website, business cards, stationery as well. So there are the prices that are on the screen currently at the moment.
Great.
Yeah. So it is mainly for startup companies, small businesses, or like say with the situation at the moment, people working from home and don't want to give out their home address. We would offer that service. We also offer a scanning service. So for example, if we had mail received for you and you're expecting a urgent document and you can't wait for us to send it out, if you ask us, we can open it. We are very confidential. We can open it and scan it to you, and then so you have the document there and then as we receive.
Great.
Yes.
Thanks very much, Amber.
So it's pretty much, yeah, self-explained.
Great.
Thank you.
So for those of you that might find that service useful, definitely do get in touch and see what will work for you. Okay, so we have covered a lot so far today. We're sort of hitting the midway point in our content. However, I do have one or two things that I was asked to make sure we mention before we go over to the panel, the branch chairs panel. And there were two things. One was about Planet Mark, and the other was about the D&I survey, the Diversity and Inclusion Survey. Hugo, are you the right person to make a short comment on what Planet Mark is and what that means for the IoD?
I'm not really. I mean, I can put some more information in the chat bar, but it's not something that I'm directly involved with. But I mean, we had, as members may be aware, we did do a D&I survey a month or so ago, and I think the results of that have been collated and are being shared with members as far as I'm aware. Our relationship with Planet Mark, again, I'm not necessarily best placed to talk to that, I'm afraid.
Okay, no problem, Hugo. But it's great just to pick on people randomly to make sure, you know, they're on the ball.
Sorry, I couldn't be more helpful.
Who else on the panel would be good, just to give us a one-liner on what these are, so we can share them with everyone. And if not, Leslie, we are going to come to you because I know you know what they are. Even though I also know you hate being on camera. Oh, she's disappeared. So as far as I know, Planet Mark is a sustainability accreditation that the IoD have been working hard to get, and we can put a link on that in the chat box. And as Hugo has already told us, there has been a diversity and inclusion survey. I think it's no secret that the IoD have a long way to go on widening their diversity and inclusion, and we're all working on it. And it's a positive objective and goal for us. So watch this space and please get involved if this is something you're passionate about and want to do more on. Keith, thank you very much for putting some information in there about the Sustainability Hub information. Great. So can I say thank you very much for our speakers so far. Leslie, do you want to make a comment? Did I see that?
No, I was just going to pick up the point about the IoD's commitment to sustainability. Obviously, we're all very aware of the future and what that holds to us. And I just wanted for our members to be aware that as an institution, we are working towards that. We have also partnered up with the Better Business Act, which is Better Business Act. The Better Business Act is about changing their governance and making it a legal requirement that all directors are aware of their sustainability responsibilities. We have held a couple of events about that, and we will be holding more in the future, but just really that IoD as an institution is very aware of its responsibilities for sustainability, and we are working towards them. Thank you.
Yeah, and it's I mean, and it's great to know that the organization is alive to sort of the biggest threat that's coming at all of us as individuals, as businesses, as countries. And I know there's a lot of work being done around the Sustainable Development Goals as well. So you know, it's something that we all need to be aware of as individuals and as leaders and directors of organizations. And so it's good to see the IoD at the forefront of that.
And there is a link in the chat to the IoD's Sustainability Hub as well for further information. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Leslie. Thanks for that. No, you didn't want to do that, but I really appreciate it. So thank you. Okay, so I would like us all to give a virtual round of applause to all the speakers that we have had so far and to share with us the member benefits. And I would like to encourage you to really take advantage of them. This is half the stuff you're paying for. So definitely, you know, leverage those member benefits. And then we're going to go on to the next part of the evening, which is very much looking, we're going to have a panel now of different branch chairs, and I'm going to welcome them to the Zoom stage, and we'll put a spotlight. So hopefully we'll see all of you individually. So I know Keith, who's a membership ambassador, you're here. Hi, Keith. I know Fazil from your regional chair of the South region. You should be here. Is that right? Can I see you? Yeah.
I'm here, but you can't see me.
Okay, that's okay. Is that deliberate or?
No, not at all. It's not my usual style not to be seen.
I know. We also have Julie, chair from Scotland. Is that right, Julie? Yes, good to see you again. And we have Andy, chair from Birmingham. Hi, Andy, good to see you.
Thank you.
And Michelle from Sussex. Welcome, Michelle. Okay, so Fazil, we can see you now. Great.
Absolutely.
So what I'm going to do, I thank the 5 of you for participating in this panel this evening. And what I'm going to do initially is just come around each one of you one by one. I'm going to do it, and here's the challenge, alphabetically on your first name. Okay, see, you got to know your alphabet to be able to do this one and watch everybody else's. And just give us a 1 minute, 90-second, who are you, what do you do? And maybe, you know, your involvement so far with the IoD and why you've joined. So alphabetically, who's to start on your first name?
I think that's probably me, is it, Claire Marie?
Definitely, Andy, definitely.
So thank you very much. So I'm Andy Wilkinson. So I'm the new chair of IoD in Greater Birmingham. I've been an IoD member for 8 or 9 years. And I think, as Natalie said earlier, the new format, we launched a new branch in Birmingham. Sorry, I'm at an event here and they're doing some sound checks. We launched a new branch in April of this year, and I was lucky enough to get the opportunity to become chair. And it's fantastic. Anybody who is a member, thinking of becoming a member and wants to think about becoming an ambassador or a chair, it's a fantastic opportunity to widen your understanding of the IoD, to meet more members, to do more for yourself, your business, your CPD. And interestingly, one of the things that I'm loving about my new branch, the new branch in Birmingham, is that it's allowing us to do some really exciting stuff. We've already opened a new hub. We've got some great events coming up with Birmingham Technology Week. We brought on new sponsors. We have the IoD Golf Day tomorrow. So we're doing lots and lots of really exciting, great stuff and getting great feedback from existing members and bringing on a lot of new members. So, you know, it's wonderful. Anyone wants to talk to me, My email's all over this. Please catch up with me, or I'm all over LinkedIn or whatever. There's 1 minute, and now they can do a sound check. Oh, and also you do get a pin badge, and I'm the only person who's got a pin badge though. So the IoD have to give more pin badges out because they are the best thing ever. Thank you very much.
Yeah, they're nearly as sought after as Blue Peter badges, isn't that right, Andy? Or am I showing my age there?
No, they are. I think they are more valued than a Blue Peter badge.
Oh, interesting, interesting. Thanks, Andy. Thanks for getting us started. And so next, alphabetically, who are we coming to?
I have a funny feeling it might be me.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. Faisal Khan, I am the regional chair for South. In South, we have 7 branches, which are essentially the home counties surrounding London. We are the largest region in the IoD with the largest number of members. And just to give you a little sense of how I got involved and took this position, I noticed that in your survey, Claire Marie, you didn't put on a button for anyone that has been a member for more than 30 years, because I would have pressed that button. I've been a member for 31 years, so I've seen the IoD go through enormous growth in my early years, and then some retraction, and hopefully a big turnaround happening now, which is essentially the decentralization program and getting branches very much closer to the membership. The work that we do essentially as volunteers in the region and in our branches is essentially to implement the engagement with the membership. It's quite an interesting challenge, because the real results of that engagement are all about, do we retain members? Do members get value for their money? And also, are we able to convince new members to join? So this is the reason why I put my hand up for this role. And I think I got the short straw. I've been in this role for a year now. And it's really, for me, fascinating to see how the new IoD is developing in its decentralized model. Somebody in the Q&A asked the question, how do we stop the IoD from being so London-centric? And for me, that is a big question, particularly in the home counties and further afield. We do need places where members can meet. And one of the big things that we've done this year is to introduce, I think it's about 30 hubs in the region where members can meet, where members can go to do their work, and essentially to engage. So that's a kind of introduction to me. I'm happy to hopefully take any question that people have, but one of my colleagues here is Michelle. She's a branch chair for the Sussex branch, and she'll give you a bit more of how effective we really are.
Thanks, Faisal. Thank you very much. And yes, we would like questions from people for the different chairs that are here and ambassadors. So we'll keep hearing from everybody, and then we'll come back to some questions if that's okay. So on the alphabetical test, which I know has just completely thrown everyone, who's next?
I think it's Julie.
I was trying to work out, there's a lot of J's. I was kind of doing Jeremy, Juliet, Julie. So very happy to go next, and good evening, everybody, from a sunny Scotland. We don't get a chance to say that very often. And yes, the sun is shining and I'm in Edinburgh. So as you can see, my name is Julie Ashworth. I am the branch chair at Edinburgh and the vice chair for Scotland. I have been a member for not quite as long as Faisal, but around 25 years. And I guess I joined all that time ago because I was working corporately and it seemed like a really cool thing to be a member of, more for status than for anything in particular. So I've kind of been around as it's ebbed and flowed over those years. And then latterly I was involved in putting the branch operating manual together and with some other members looking at our target operating model. So that was terrific. That was really good fun and useful. It's useful because one of the things we've done latterly is become much more member focused. In fact, I would say absolutely member focused. So our job in branches is to connect you all and to use your voices. Now, Edinburgh is a capital city, and we use that voice to influence both at Holyrood and at Westminster. And then, of course, there are the what I call benefits and services, things like that you'll have heard all about, the advisory service and the qualifications, which are the CEDA, which I'm hopefully about to complete pretty soon. And like Faisal and like the others, really happy to take questions and really happy to meet up with anybody from Scotland, from Edinburgh. Excuse me, like Andy, you'll find me on LinkedIn. Hopefully we'll connect tonight and look forward to speaking to you all later. Thanks, Claire Marie.
Cheers, Julie, thank you. Great, we've got our alphabet sorted now. Who's next?
Must be me.
Hey, who are you? How did you get here and what do you do? Go on.
Who are you and where do you come from? So my name's Keith and I am the membership ambassador for the Central London branch. So I guess like everybody, so I joined as a member, I think about 5 or 6 years ago now, and didn't do much with it. So like Julie said, sort of it was one of those things that has to be done. That looks interesting, but I didn't take advantage of the opportunities that were open to me. So whenever I saw the opportunity come up for to join the committee as an ambassador, that sort of refreshed my interest. And since then, I've been kicking myself that I've missed out on a lot of things that should have happened. So I've started taking advantage now of the benefits that we've heard all about tonight. I think it's been mentioned a couple of times before. So Claire Marie, like you said, we're members, and Faisal, like you said, we're volunteers. So we want to do this and try and drive things forward for the rest of our members, and that's what has sort of driven me to take part in this role. I'm really happy to do it. So and build a bit of profile for myself as well. So it's two-pronged approach, and that's what we're here for. But happy to take any questions for London, for membership. Pop me a message. Happy to take them.
Great, thank you, Keith. Yeah, and that is really important to remember. You know, we are the members, and you know, we're ambassadors, and so you sort of know what you're looking for, which is really interesting when it comes to organizing stuff. And I think we'll come back and talk about that a little bit, and maybe some of the differences in some of those regions. Michelle,
yeah.
You.
Hi.
Who are you? How'd you get here? What do you do?
Absolutely.
For you to be working with Faisal.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. He's a great guy to work with. So very pleased to be here. And thank you for inviting me. Yeah, I've been a member for about 15 years, originally with the Berkshire branch, and I held several ambassadorial roles there in different sectors. And why I joined was actually I worked for a global manufacturing sort of a materials handling company, and I felt that I didn't want to talk shop all the time. You can go to events and conferences that are sort of, you know, sector specific, but actually I wanted to meet other people that were like-minded, that weren't necessarily, you know, connected with my work. And actually, as it happens, I've met some great people through the years, actually have become very good friends and colleagues and so forth. So and then latterly I moved to Sussex. I moved here sort of in my moved house, if you like, and then was invited to be vice chair for Sussex, and latterly the chair more recently. And what we've been really trying to do is make sure, as Faisal said, we are moving away. We are now regional, very much regional. So even though we've got the likes of Keith and all his good work there centrally in London, all of us here in all the counties, you've got chairs and you've got a team of ambassadors that are also there for you to reach out to and connect with. And we have lots of events going on, not just in town, but all throughout the county. To Faisal's point, we have recently set up a hub, which is at Mannings Heath, which is in Sussex. It's near Horsham. So that's a place for anyone to go to. Obviously, you know, people can meet, greet, especially sort of discounted for them, and so on. And the other thing is, we've also, just so I mentioned, on the 8th of October, Andy mentioned about a golf day. Tomorrow, we've also got one now. So please do come along, whether you're a golfer or if you're not, just carry a caddy. It's on the 8th of October. And that's just to show that we are, you know, events are taking place all around the counties. In terms of my ambassadorial team that, you know, that we put on place, they all come from all business walks of life, and they join for many different reasons. But one of the things they want to do is meet with like-minded people actually, and connect with other people. And also they have their sector, often sector specific. So we've got a governance and policy person, we've got sustainability, we've got a finance ambassador, we've got a third sector, the charity ambassador. So we cover a broad range. So you'll find in most of the counties, including Sussex and around, there will be an ambassador that will cover your sector. And I think the many things that we need to do is also, we're doing things like we are engaging with new members. So for example, on the 15th of September, we have a meet and greet, and that's where all new members in the county can come together. And of course, as a member, it doesn't mean to say just because you maybe signed up to Sussex or to London that you can't come and embrace what's going on in other areas. Of course, come and join us, even if you're not here. If you happen to be down for the day, go to the local hubs and so forth. So, and if you have any questions, I'll put my email in the chat. But if you have any questions, just reach out to me or any of the other ambassadors and chairs. We're very happy to help. Thank you.
Cheers, Michelle, thank you. And I think you have highlighted there one of the major benefits and actually one of the unexpected positive byproducts of this awful COVID pandemic, you know, new ways of working thing. You know, we've all gone online like this. And so actually, you can go to any IoD event anywhere in the country. You know, it used to be very physically anchored, which has its benefits and gives you that real sense of community. And now you can also travel anywhere online to go. So I've certainly been availing of that over the last 18 months. Okay, so this is our panel. We have about 10 to 15 minutes left of the session. People can ask any questions they would like of the panel. I am waiting for them to come in. Either in the chat is probably the easiest now at this stage. It is a webinar, so unfortunately I have learned I can't put the spotlight on you for you to ask the questions direct to the panel. I'm sure you are got it. But please do pop your questions that you have. I'm going to get this started by asking the panel, you know, what's going on in your particular branch or region? What do you think are the current priorities for your members on a more local basis? And Faisal, we'll come back to you to start if you don't mind.
Well, I think it's evident that most businesses are struggling to exit from COVID, exit from lockdown, and exit from all of the restrictions imposed during that period. And that's having some very challenging issues arising. Supply chains decimated, getting hold of equipment, timelines are extending, raw material prices going up dramatically. Yesterday I was talking to somebody in construction who was telling me that their raw material prices are have gone up by 60%, which has basically meant that they've stopped building. So at a kind of business level, you know, we're all trying to find ways to solve these business problems. And so when we engage with our members, we try and engage on those issues and try and find, by a kind of collegiate approach, talking to each other, how can we help to navigate the difficulties that are existing in the business community right now.
Yeah, thank you. And Julie, I'm going to come to you next for the same question. And also there is a question popped in about, is there an IoD in each area? I'm based in Perth, so would I be assigned to Edinburgh?
Thanks very much for that, Claire Marie. There are 7 branches across Scotland, so you'd probably end up, Perth, you'd be central. There's a branch, Glasgow, Central and in Edinburgh, but you can be assigned to a branch of your choice. So if you do more work through in Edinburgh normally, then you can be assigned to that branch. So it's something you choose when you become a member. Otherwise, you default to where your application has come from. In terms of what are we talking about, what's important in Edinburgh, our schools went back, we go back around 4 weeks before England or the rest of the UK. And that, of course, has fallen squarely with everybody attempting to get back to work. And, of course, the university is starting to filter through. So I think for all of our members at the moment, it just feels like a really weird time that you can't get going. The level of support is falling away. I totally agree with what Faisal was saying around construction. We have all those issues certainly really amplified here. There's a lot of work to be done, but there's not a lot of work coming through. The importance, I think, at the moment is that we've got a good voice with the IoD at Holyrood. We've got a good voice as our group of 6, as it were, at Westminster. So things like, you know, today the share dividends being taxed, that matters to our members. You know, the ability or not for our hotel and leisure to be able to open for retail, that's what we're all talking about. And when we come together, that's the subject of most of our conversations. How do we not necessarily build back, but build forward better? It's a concern, a real concern for businesses.
Yeah, and I think that's really important, Julie. You know, I mean, I work in change management. That's what I specialize in. And I can't believe, like, we're all in the biggest, maddest change management experiment that's ever happened. And we're all in it as well. Like, we're not even managing it. And, you know, we are not going back anywhere. We can only go forward. And therefore, what does that mean? You know, and what does that mean to businesses, to directors, to individuals, to our staff? You know, there's a lot in there, and it has to play out too. So yeah. Andy, I'm going to come to you next and tell us what you're finding in the Birmingham area. Can you hear me, Andy? Is that a yes or a no?
Claire Marie, sorry, were you talking to me?
Yes, sorry, Andy. Yeah,
sorry,
I am going to come to you next. Sorry if that wasn't clear.
It froze. I tell you what, one of the biggest things as well that I'm finding is that members and non-members want to see the IoD joining up regionally with other business organisations, wider things, metro mayors, etc., so we can share the similar or different themes. And that's very important, that we are seen to be collegiate in our approach. And that's what I'm working on really hard, is that whatever, you know, our metro mayor is, you know, whether we agree or don't agree, is that we have a good, strong, aligned vision. And our members are really, really liking that.
Yeah, I would agree. We certainly see the same in the Northwest. And I know David Wafer in Liverpool has done an awful lot to get Andy Burnham and Steve Rotherham together on a number of times during the last 12 months to hear from them, and hosted events. And one of them was online and one of them was actually in person in Liverpool a few months ago. And like you say, that was very, very well received, not just by the IoD members locally, but by the local business community. That was really valued. And in fact, the mayors were impressed with the IoD for wanting to get into the nitty gritty about that as well. Great. Michelle, what are your thoughts around this? What trends are you seeing?
Yeah, I was saying, raising your point. Actually, we've got quite a few. I mean, Sussex is a funny area in many places, because we've got sort of Crawley, and we've got sort of Manor Royal sort of in one place, and then we've got sort of a bit of countryside in between times, not completely, and then we've got sort of hubs, if you like, and collections. So one of the things that we're seeing is down in the south, in Brighton and so forth, the tourism industry is really struggling at the moment, and they are just trying to get back, sort of they're opening up places, but again, sort of with COVID sort of awareness, but that's been a real struggle for many, many on the south coast, if you like. We've had that issue. Getting back to the point where we're sort of all connected, I'm sorry about this, I've got printing coming through. Get connected is that we've actually sort of got relationships with Coastal Capital, our local LEP, and we've also got connections with Gatwick, the airport. So we're very much embracing, sort of going back to Andy's point, of being with other organisations, just so that we can actually have a common voice, if you like, and replicate that. So thank you.
Cheers, Michelle. Thanks. And Keith, what have you observed where you are?
So it's a lot of the same things that everyone else has mentioned, but it's, as well as Andy was saying about the collegiate, and Michelle about the collegiate working and approach, it's how our members are connecting with each other and what are their options as well. And that's what they're coming to us about from to IoD to be able to provide and support and facilitate. There's also a lot of questions about, people's welfare. How are we managing people's welfare, or supporting that and helping our businesses support that to their teams, to themselves. My day job is NHS, so I've been living through this frontline since well before 2020, but before 2020, and we feel it on the front line. But it's not just, doctors, nurses, NHS, it's everyone's feeling the pressure from, as we say, from board to ward. So that's a big piece as well, that we're trying to support. Some difficult conversations, I think, need to be had as things change and evolve, and we need to challenge ourselves as leaders in business.
Yeah.
Interesting times.
Yeah, challenge and provide support, and also try and stay sane in the middle of it all while we do all of the above. Okay, we have time for one or two more questions. So the next one I have is, well, this is an opportunity for you to either to show off or promote. Here in the Northwest, we're at the early stages of thinking about what activities are going to be happening in the next 3, 6, and dare we plan for 12 months. But what have you got planned, or what are you hoping will be happening in the next few months for members, and whether that's offline or online or something bespoke to your areas? Julie, let's do this geographically. Let's start way up and let's see if I can work out what order we go to next.
Well, Claire Marie, we hopefully some of you will have attended. We had our global conference last week. So to be honest, that's taken up thank you very much for those of you that were there. That took up an awful lot of our focus and energy, and of course it segued into COP26. So much of what we've been focused on is around everything to do with net zero, with sustainability. So we will just move through into COP26, because it's physically, of course, as you know, through in Glasgow, and then we will move into our Director of the Year awards. So other than the Johnny Walker Centre opening in Edinburgh, for those that know, which has been a complete highlight because everything's been closed, that's it from us, Claire Marie.
Brilliant, brilliant. Moving down the country, I know in the Northwest there's a boat trip to Cumbria on Friday for those of you that want to get out. I'm not sure what the weather's going to be like, Andy, compared to your golf day tomorrow. But yeah, if only everything had happened today, eh? Let's keep going down the country. Who's next? Andy, is it you?
Yeah, the big things for us are continuing to grow our offer to our members, getting to grow our business hub, which we've just launched, and to getting into new communities, new ideas. Birmingham Technology Week, Commonwealth Games. We've got some big opportunities that I really, really want to try and engage. And my massive thing is to get more pin badges.
Get more pin badges. Get more. Leslie, write that down. Natalie, write that down. More pin badges, please. Great. Who's next? Who's the next person to go? Who's the next person? I see. I'm going to get my geography all mixed up here. Do we go to London next or not?
I'm seeing Michelle nod because I have no idea. So thank you, Michelle. It's only 108 days till Christmas, people. So we're looking at, yes, I'm one of them. Yes, we're looking at hopefully a Christmas event, still TBC. We have in the City of London branch, Alistair King runs a series of interviews with some very high profile and influential people. So do look out for those. For Central London, we're finalizing our next couple of events for Let's Talk. So those are virtual events as well. So we're trying to uncover difficult topics of conversation that need to happen. So we've covered modern slavery, sustainability, greenwashing, insights from Number 10. So we've got a couple more coming out in the next couple of months, so look out for those as well. And we have special interest groups for both Central London branch and City of London branch. So they have a whole host of separate events as well. So go through the London IoD pages and you'll find details of those.
Great, thank you, Keith. And in fact, everyone should go through all the IoD event pages and just see what events you fancy and choose and pick. It's like a little sweet shop sometimes in there. Michelle, are you going to speak next?
Yeah. I mean, I actually just concur what Keith said. You know, we've got also special interest groups that are sort of going to be holding some events. So if you're in the area and you happen to be sort of virtually, they'll be virtual, and some eventually will be in person. One sort of on governance. We're doing something on trade it's coming up. So watch Sussex's space. We've also got one of the things in terms of the local area. On the 4th of November, we have a virtual sort of event. This is all about sort of Sussex railways, but again, it's interconnected. It's not just about Sussex, it's about going in and out of London, Kent, Surrey, Sussex, Oxford. So please do come along and have a listen to that. We try and make it so it's insightful, and also the people are very knowledgeable. So if you have some burning questions, just feel free to sort of come along and answer. The idea is it's very, if you like, sort of relaxed, informal. And it's the idea behind it is that you can chat, connect, learn something, and obviously enjoy yourself. We have our members meetings again. We do have those on a regular basis, and of course, as I highlighted before, we've got the hub. Do go and visit. We will try and make sure that at some point there's members there and highlight. Some of the ambassador team will be there, and we also have our branch administrator, Angela. She will be there. If you have any questions, she's there at least once a month, and she's going to be there exactly for that to that point. So she's a point of access. You can see her in person, obviously, but if not, connect to us all through the usual social channels. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Michelle. Now I'm keeping an eye on time, and we're about to finish in -5 seconds. So Faisal, I'm going to come to you to deliver that impossibility and tell us what
Right.
you're very shortly. Yeah.
Okay, so very briefly, as a region, we're very focused on what I call opening up. Having spent 15 months all doing team calls and Zoom calls, we're desperately trying to get physical contact now with membership all through the 7 branches. So that's kind of priority number 1. Priority number 2 is to get our groups of ambassadors together on key issues. So we have very flourishing ambassador group on diversity and inclusion. We want to be driving the agenda in the IoD around diversity and inclusion, and we have some very, very capable people in that ambassador group driving that agenda. The second thing that we're going to try and drive very hard is chartered directors as a group of ambassadors to drive the program around chartered directors. we have volunteered to take on board what's called the cohort model, whereby groups of students can go through the Charter Director program together and act as buddy groups and get mentoring and essentially go through a one-year accelerated program. So those are our priorities right now.
Great, thank you, Faisal, and thank you for keeping that nice and short. So, as you can hear, everyone, lots is happening, lots all over the UK. You have met some of the chairs and ambassadors here tonight. Please do reach out to your local IoD team. They will be delighted to hear from you, and please do get involved. Please do check out your local Director of the Year celebrations they're happening sort of at all different times, but definitely the next few weeks and months. There's Andy, definitely wants that. Andy has a secret he's going to show us before we leave on what he's been up to backstage there. Cheers, Andy, isn't that right? He's been having a great time there. Go on, show us, we all want one. We all want one. He's been drinking strawberry mojitos that started out as. Yeah, we should get them delivered. And I want to thank all our panelists today. Thank you so much for giving up your time, volunteering for something else yet again. Thank you to everyone who attended today. Thank you to all the team backstage or behind Zoom that are making it happen, and all our speakers earlier. Special mention to Jeremy, who I know has been doing an awful lot. And I'm going to make a pitch actually on all these events that are happening. I would like us to keep the benefit of being online and how that widens up accessibility and inclusion, as well as it's great to see people in person and meet real people and maybe even hug them if you're feeling that way inclined. So I think that's it from today. If there's anybody from the team that we need to mention anything else, just shout out and let members know. Otherwise, have a lovely evening. Enjoy the last of the sunshine. I think it's going to get wet for the next few days now. Welcome and good.
Thanks, everyone.
IoD, everyone.
Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.